Good evening, reefers. How is everyone doing?
Good evening.
Hello.
We have a very naughty Harry and Jamie with us.
I'm not
Good
naughty.
evening. So, how you been? Your tank is looking much better, Harry. I can see it in the background there. It's looking a lot nicer.
Yes, it is slowly but surely recovering. I say slowly, I'm quite impressed, really, at the rate things seem to be picking up. I will put that down to the water change, I think, that I've got going on there now. Constant fresh water coming in, flushing out any toxins that may be left over. I've had a third polyfilter in there now, and it's not discolouring like the others did almost instantly. It's still quite white looking. So that just goes to show that everything's kind of pumped through.
Yeah, there's such a good safety net, those polyfilters.
Yeah.
If you're ever in any doubt, you can see pretty quickly if there's something in there, can't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Though I didn't find mine went a specific colour, it just discoloured, just kind of went browny black. Yeah.
It's good. It's doing something. That's what you want it for.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
It's doing its job.
Taking something out. How's your tank doing, Steve?
Yeah, pretty good. I have a slight issue. The court jester. Put my teeth back in. The court jester goby that I got last week. I have not seen it since. I saw it one evening, and I have not seen it since.
Although we did say, you know what, that fish doesn't mean it's not in there.
No. I was a little concerned that because it's a little bit jumpy. I don't think there's enough space for it to jump out, but I'm hoping it hasn't jumped out and it's just being a bit scared and hidey.
Yeah, I'd be confident. I reckon it's probably still in there somewhere. You know, even in like shop display tanks, you struggle to find them sometimes.
Yep. Have you checked your sump? You never know. I found a teeny little banana wrasse thing. Banana wrasse? Is that what they're called? The tiny ones in my sump.
Yeah.
How would it get down there?
Down the weir, I assume.
Unless
it jumped out and then jumped off the floor and see. Yeah. Well, it could be in the reef mat.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a bulge in the reef mat, yeah, it's there.
Yeah, but like swimming in the little bit. Never.
Yeah, it could be, I guess. Getting a little lanthanum shower every now and then.
Yeah. Comment.
So, let me. What have we got? God, there's a lot of comments tonight.
Flying in.
Yeah. Do they really love living in the sump? I mean, they could show their objection by maybe triggering an alarm in your ATO or something.
Your tank's
been having some issues with it. Yeah, that's looking really clear now, your tank.
The 8 foot, it's really good. I've kind of left it alone for 3 weeks, not doing much to it other than chucking a bit of food in, pellets and a bit of brine shrimp to keep the cycle going. It's really clear. The skimmers started to skim stuff. My phosphates have come down from about 0.3 to 0.1, 0.15. I've got some more live rock to go in there, which I'll build up gradually. I'm thinking of putting the first couple of fish in probably before the weekend. It's I can't complain. I was expecting an algae bloom. I was expecting hair algae and all that sort of stuff because we're about a month in now. What I've got are just a few tiny little brown slime algae patches starting to appear, which obviously the 5 Australia snails in 1,500 litres just aren't finding. But it's really clear, and the only filtration is a skimmer and a bit of phosphate media. So going really well.
What would you put such a seemingly successful cycle down to? What like media did you add or anything like that?
I made sure, obviously, because it was all dead rock, to give it an RO soak twice, just to pull out a load of stuff at the front end. Yep. So probably pulled out quite a bit of phosphate and probably a load of nitrate, so that probably helped. But in truth, even that, I was expecting to do 4, maybe 5 soaks.
Yeah.
I only did 2 in the end, and I had some of that phos media hanging around, which I put in to sort of pull a bit more out. And I guess that dead rock that I got was a lot cleaner than I gave it credit for. Obviously, the RODI water these days is pretty much contaminant free. Good quality salt going in there. That must be it. And I even left a bit of rubbish in that. I didn't clean the sump out perfectly from when it was a freshwater tank. So there was a bit of organic stuff in there, shall we say. And probably just enough to start the bacti cycle going. And yeah, it's been all right.
Perfect.
Wow.
It's just had 5 snails in there to do something. But yeah, it's a slow burner, right? It's a slow burner. I'm just really ahead of the game. I'll probably say all this, and I'll put a couple of fish in there, which are green. Also, I should say as well that there's 0 lighting on there. They're just 2 cheapy eBay LEDs at the moment. So when some good quality intensive lighting goes on there, we probably will see something a bit different kick in. But no, so far so good. Yeah. I can't say that my other tank is really not good at the minute. But yeah, that's a frustration. Just cyano has come back to bite me. I got rid of it all, had 2 weeks away, came back and it took hold again, and it's just there. And there's obviously an underlying issue, but I can't get rid of it. There's Liam giving me a little nudge. I'd say I did have the bad news today that the Strattons have been delivered. So yeah, just as well I've had my holidays, right? There won't be any more coming.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going all right. It's going good. And I think fish-wise, I'm going to just put a couple of small, easily catchable fish in there so that I can get them back out again, because I'm not sure. I just want some starter fish, so I'm thinking something fairly cheap, easy, that I can pull out and just put back in my frag tank as long-term residents. So, yeah.
Lovely.
Jamie, you've got earphones in, but I think the audio's coming out of your speakers because I can hear myself. I don't know what's going on.
Let me mute my. It is. I thought I'd go all good and get some earphones.
How's your seawater going, Steve? Any more?
I haven't been to collect it anymore. Everything's looking good. I got my bicolour in there, and my jellyfish tank's running on it. I thought I would put some coral in there as well to make sure that's how happy. So my gonny, well, that's not gone. It's just completely white.
Yeah.
That's sitting in there. It's not getting any better. It's not getting any worse. Yeah. I've got a Duncan and a forest fire. I think the forest fire's struggling a little bit because it's not enough light.
Okay.
But the Duncan's completely happy.
Yeah. Forest fire might adapt though. They can live in quite low light.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Yeah.
When they've been under a Stratton.
Yeah. It doesn't look bad. It just looks a bit dull.
Yeah.
So.
Is that better, Steve? Because I've managed to turn my.
I can't hear myself now.
It's a shame I can still hear you.
So let's have a little go through and see who we've got with us tonight. We have John Wright with us first in the room, as always.
Good evening, John.
Good evening.
Hi, John.
We have Terry as well. Good evening, Terry. We have another Terry.
Terry.
And we have Lee. Good evening, Lee.
Hello, Lee.
Lee, how are you doing?
We have Dan as well. Good evening, Dan.
Dan.
I have not bought another coral.
Since
it's
yesterday.
1 week. 1 week since I've last sinned. Gaz is with us. How you doing,
Gaz?
Gaz? Hope everything's going well for you.
Hello, mate.
We have Matt with us. Good evening, Matt.
Matt, hello.
Anthony as well.
Hey.
Good evening.
Harry. Good evening, Harry.
Hey, Harry.
We've got a lot of people tonight.
We do. We have Coach with us. Good evening.
Coach.
Liam's with us as well. Good evening, Liam.
Liam.
So we've got a little question for you from Ron. Good evening, Ron.
Hello, Ron.
You know what? It was a tongue-in-cheek thing about bringing some hermit crabs back and stuff like that. If you're travelling back from Turkey, I didn't realise the amount of searching that goes on if you're coming to the UK. It's mental.
Yes.
So
no seawater in a bottle, then.
No, none of that. And I
No.
didn't. As luck would have it, I didn't get frisked down by the female guard, so I was a bit annoyed actually. But, yeah, next time.
You need to go there with like shiny teeth or a bandage around your head, and they'll go, "Oh, he just came over for surgery."
Yeah, I was so hoping on the plane on the way back, you'd look down the plane and just see loads of bandages, but it wasn't, unfortunately.
When I was there, probably this time last year with work, and yeah, you get back to the airport and you're in the passport control, and there was so many people with like bandage around their head or very fresh stubble on their head.
Brilliant. I just came back with a massive beer gut, so the opposite.
Fair enough. Good afternoon, Emma.
Emma.
Hello.
Good evening, Peter.
Hey, Parry.
Hi, Pete.
Good evening, Anna.
Hello, Anna. Hello, Anna.
She's here to keep an eye on you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Good evening, Tim. I haven't seen Tim for a while. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Tim.
All right, Tim.
We have Ryan with us as well. Good evening, Ryan.
Ryan.
Nearly there. Rama there as well. Good evening, Rama.
Rama.
We have Amanda with us as well.
Hello.
Evening.
And are we there?
I love the avatar of Amanda.
Yeah. We have Hayley. Good evening, Hayley.
Haley Bart.
Good morning, Melinda.
Hey, Melinda.
Hello.
Good evening, Pedro.
Evening.
Jupiter's Reef. Good evening, Julie.
Evening.
That must be pretty much everyone now. I'm just scrolling. There's been a lot of chat going on, that's for sure. I think that's everyone. Pretty much at the bottom. Apologies. Us to Spiller's Reef. Good evening, Spiller's Reef.
Hello. Good evening.
We have Starchild. That's a new name as well.
Oh.
Good evening. We have Bristol Reefer, Lee, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Jason, your parcel went in the post this morning.
Ooh.
Good afternoon. And is that it? That must be it. We can't have it. That is it. We haven't got any more.
Cool. If you could just hear a weird gurgling noise, that is my ATO that has just ran dry, which I was completely forgot about. I've been getting notifications all day. There you go. Red Sea Reef Beat has just notified me it's run dry.
There you go.
Great timing.
Oops.
There you go. Talk about prep.
Yes. So there's been a couple of items launched, hasn't there? Or released, should I say? Released, launched. Is it the same thing? So Stratton Flex is now available.
Yes.
I don't know many places that have it, but I know Charterhouse and AAC have it. They both appear to be the same price for the 102, which is just under a metre long. So the 3-foot version is 965, and the 153 LED version, which is just under a metre and a half, which I believe is the 4-foot, is 1285.
Yeah, they do seem quite a good value in reefing terms, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, always have to say in reefing terms.
That's it. It's very hard to sit here and say it's not expensive, but if you compare it to put in 3 or 4 lights on a system versus just the one, and the running costs.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually going and seeing one. No doubt these shops will start having one on a wet display at some point.
Yeah,
that's when you really get to see it. But I've seen enough Strattons to know they're decent. Just something's cool. It's cool when something new comes out.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones that I think is probably going to be more popular than the G2 because of the shape of it. It allows you to get away with less units.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that was probably the thing I really like about my one is it is complete coverage. There's very little shadowing, but that's also then the downside. Because it's square and not long and thin, you have to have more than one.
Yeah. It's like they've taken the blades that I wouldn't say took the industry by storm, but they certainly changed things up a little bit, because I think anything you could get like that before was like very freshwater orientated.
Yeah, you're right.
But they just made it as like a single with the blade. You can get away with one for softies and some LPS. Par-wise, I would imagine most people would be looking at more than one unit. And the Stratton seems to just be a one and done.
Yeah, most of the people I know that run the blades run them as an additional light to the others.
Yeah.
So if you look at like Dan's reef, the blades on that, just you got the great punch from the Radians, and the blades just fill the rest in, and it's you're doubling your lighting, really, aren't you? Like in terms of spread. So I think. Whereas the Strattons, obviously, you'll be buying that as your sole light, won't you?
Usually,
if you've got supplementary Strattons, then I want your job.
Yeah, I can't think there'll be many people that will be using them as supplementary lights.
No.
Yeah, although talking Strattons, I had a little look at mine. It was sitting at a funny angle. I was like, was it sitting at a funny angle? And I went to adjust it, and it moved really easily. And I'm like, it shouldn't move that easily. And then on closer inspection, one of the fixings had disappeared. So there's supposed to be I'm pointing at it with my mouse, but you can't see it. But where those bits of cable all meet, there's a threaded section in the bottom that should have a thumb screw in. And it nips up on that kind of on the wire that connects to the light to stop it from moving, and it's gone. I don't know where it is.
Hopefully not in the tank.
That's what I'm hoping too.
Yeah. You definitely put it in there, I take it, because you remember it being there, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And I know that I lifted the lights up, and to lift them up, you kind of I'm pointing with the mouse again. You put your thumb on the bottom, and then that collar you can see out near the bottom, where the bottom of that top wire goes. You push that down, and then it just slides. So I did that, and I slid it. So I lifted the whole light up, and then I did some top-down filming with my homemade 3D printed lens dipper.
Someone got some ideas from Rap then.
Yeah, I saw that from Rap, and I was like, I can just make one of them with my 3D printer. That's what I did. And I just kind of filmed all that. Then I lowered it back down again, and it was there then. So it's not been gone long. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think, answering Liam's question, that they are stainless. Pretty sure they're stainless. So
I'm just going through the comments, and Melinda does make a good point for those of us with OCD about the sizes of the flex. As in, like, I'm old school. I work in feet and inches, so 3 foot would make sense to me. Tanks are 3 foot, but no, we're going to go metric and make it
Well, I could understand as well if they'd made it metric and made it a meter.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I would work in metric all day long. Imperial measurements are just so bizarre. They made sense in the days where people were farmers and had horses, but we're not like that anymore. It's just very bizarre. But to make it, like you say, 965 millimeters, that's weird.
It must just be like the same thing when you're building a glass aquarium and you're stuck on height, and if you go like 5 mil or 100 mil over that height, you have to go to a whole new thickness of glass, and the price just goes boom. So there must be some sort of sweet spot in pressing that piece of metal out at that size, or probably something mundane like that as to why they've capped it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I don't know whether it's the same, because when on the G2 they get a solid lump of aluminium and mill it, but with the Stratton I don't know whether it might be extruded, whether it might be like extruded. Yeah. And I know our head office used to be in Iceland, and when you drove from the airport to Reykjavik, you'd drive past this massively long building, and that's what they did. They used to extrude lengths of aluminium, and it was like a kilometre long because you got really long lengths of it. But yeah, so I don't know. There must be something in that. It is probably related to the number of LEDs in each module.
Yeah, that would be just as sensible, wouldn't it? Yeah.
To be fair, some of the frag systems I make end up with quite funny measurements because I prioritize the amount of holes and it looking right, and it might mean that it's a funny amount of millimeters where I'd rather it be otherwise. So perhaps it is the LEDs.
Yeah, someone with a better brain than I will know why, and they've done it for a reason.
You never know; they might not have.
No, we're just going to screw with everyone.
Yeah.
And the other announcement we've had is that there's a new tank out, and I know Jamie will be getting his wallet out right now and pre-ordering it. TMC.
Not if it's one you're going to tell me about.
TMC first wave 78 litre, all in one. So like the Fluval Evo, but a bit bigger.
Okay.
Yeah. To be fair though, I think things like the beginner tanks you need to have a more budget affordable option for people that are coming into the hobby, right? So I'm all for that. If it means people can have a little successful go and a stab at it, and then the bug bites, great. Yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah. 300 quid. 299. So I think that then, if I remember correctly, I think that includes everything. Let me have a look. Because I know when you buy the Fluval, it doesn't include the heater. So what is let me share my screen. That'd be easier.
Does the Fluval include the skimmer, or is that an add-on?
No, that's an add-on.
Yeah, I thought so.
With the Fluval, you get the media, a sponge, a pump, and that's it. And you have to buy a heater.
Quite often the shops will put their own package together, won't they, for that option?
Yeah. So this one comes with the tank, a lid, lights, return pump, skimmer, power supply. No heater. So it's really weird, isn't it? They don't include a heater.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to encourage you to buy a different brand of heater because they know.
Do TMC even make a heater?
Not that I know of.
I don't know. I've never been in the market for one.
I wonder whether that's why they don't include it.
Could be. Again, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Oh.
Back to being confused again.
They're called therms. Therm 50 watt, therm 100 watt, 20 quid thereabouts. Ooh.
Yeah, that's. I don't get it then. I don't get it. Why would you sell a starter tank all in one and not include everything you need? I found it weird with the Fluval as well.
It would make more sense if they included like the tank and the skimmer and nothing else. Like they're so close to having everything. That's what makes it weird that they don't include the heater.
Well, do you know in the original size, the Fluval Evo size, fitting a heater in that end panel filtration module was bloody difficult anyway. So for the next size up, you might want a larger 100-watt heater. It's probably going to stick out the top. They probably thought, oh, it's someone else's problem now.
But then, from a purely running a tank, that size tank point of view, you probably need a heater far more than you need a skimmer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, good.
Oh, well, there you go. Comment from Dan. He'd rather have a little skimmer and pick his own heater. Completely the opposite of what I just said. So.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's fair. Well, those sort of nano skimmers still cost about 60 to 80 quid, whereas a heater's 25 quid. Fair point.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna run a poll. I got asked a question earlier in the week about ICPs. Would you do it before you do a water change or after?
Okay.
So I'm just going to put a poll on here.
Yeah, I know what I do.
Just added loads of options I didn't need there. Right, start. So that should pop up any second. Yep, there you go. Or both. Yeah, good point from Terry. You could do it both, I guess. Yeah, there you go.
That was me loading.
Someone just went to the YouTube stream.
Oh yeah, I can't see the poll in here, can I?
No, yeah, you can only see it on the YouTube.
Okay, well.
So yeah, it'd just be interesting because I was saying, well, for me, there seems very little point in doing an ICP and then making a massive change to your water chemistry. And then someone else said, yeah, but if you do it before your water change, you can see what your nutrient levels were before you did the water change, and then you do it again before you do a water change and see if you've improved. Like, okay, yeah, I can see from a nutrient point of view, you might want to do that, but I just use normal test kit for nutrients. I'm sending off an ICP because I want to know about traces and contaminants mainly.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
But then I use that same method, as in I'd rather do my ICP before a big water change to see where my elements are after, say, a month, 6 weeks of dosing my stuff. Whereas if you do it straight after a water change, you've got all that new salt, all that new trace in there. How do you know what you're dosing up to? Because you've just diluted it by 20% or whatever.
Yeah.
Methods makes me feel better about an automatic water change. And then it just averts the whole thing. Though I think even with these automatic water changes, I think once a month, still do like just a little, like a 10%. Just why not? I just feel it's more efficient than constantly in and out, which is going to somewhat be taking out the fresh water you put in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I think pretty much everything in reefing, you ask 10 people, you probably get at least 5 different answers. More than likely you'll get 10 different answers because there's so many different ways to do it. And I was a bit hesitant to say one way's a right way and one way's a wrong way because I think you do different things for different reasons. If your main focus is contaminants, you do it after a water change. I would have, in my opinion, let me add that, because otherwise, you're not basing it on what the tank's actually going to be like. But like you said, Jamie, if you're using it to test how effective your dosing has been, making a massive change to water chemistry then is detrimental, and the same as for testing your nutrients. So yeah, really, really interesting. I guess it's just what you're aiming to get out of it, I think.
If you got deep pockets, you do one before, one after.
Yeah, no, I can't think of many people that are doing that.
No, not me.
Right, I'm going to end the poll and see what we got. So after 68%.
That's what I would have said.
Before 32.
Okay. Yeah, I would have said it's the other way around, but interesting that people have spoken.
Yeah. I was really convinced, because I was like certain that it was going to be after. Absolutely convinced it was going to be after. Yeah. And then you start to hear the other people explain it, and you're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. But I suppose most people will do this as well, but I always do all my hand tests the same day as I set an ICP off.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get the results back, I can see just how close I'm getting it with an idiot's kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of them are actually surprisingly good. Like the Salifert calcium magnesium, if you're good at that kit, because you have to have a bit of skill to do that test well, it actually correlates really bloody close. The only one that I find is completely different is the phosphate test kits compared to the phosphates on an ICP, because they come back sky high no matter what you do.
Yeah, but that's so I had a discussion with someone at Elements about this, because I was getting my Elements ICP back, and my phosphates were just so different to what I was testing it. But then I started to look at what they called it, and started to dig into it more and more and more, and then you start so those test kits or the testing that's done with the ICP, picking up like 2 or 3 different types of phosphate.
Yeah,
I think is it doing 2 and then giving you a total? Can't remember now.
Orthophosphate is one of them, and then there's a conversion factor to get the other one, and organic chemistry is not my strong point, I must admit. But when you start using conversion factors, you introduce an element of doubt, because theoretical isn't always actual.
Yeah.
Pinch of salt, but again, trends, isn't it? If you're trending it and it's always that sort of level, and your tank looks good, then that's the level you pitch for.
Yeah.
So last comment on that. They also say the best time to do an ICP is when your tank is looking its best.
Yeah.
Don't use them to look for problems. Do it when it's fantastic, and then actually benchmark what you aim for.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. That was explained to me by Jose at Reef Elements when we was chatting to him before. He said that's the time to do it, and it made a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it's the time that people are least likely to do it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you're chasing a problem and you do an ICP and you think, oh, that looks out of kilter, you might falsely think that slightly elevated zinc level, or whatever it is the cause of all your problems. But it might be the case that there's always that level. You just didn't know.
Yeah.
Probably a bad example using zinc, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
I think as well, you can find problems that you don't know were there. In my case, I looked past it a little bit more than I should have. That I had some metals, but nothing really very concerning. And the next one, I had the same metals, but elevated. I thought, oh, it could be this, it could be that. Look for things, couldn't really find it. Now, had I have sort of let that sink in a little bit more and realized, hang on, no, something is seriously wrong if I've got 2 consecutive tests with several metals that are gaining, I had a problem. And it wasn't until it went really wrong, that I found it.
Yeah, you might have dropped like a suspension screw or something in there that.
Don't do that.
At least it's stainless. Take a while.
Yeah.
Ron said, has anyone heard of clamato juice? Is that like a mixture of clam and tomato juice?
Must be a Scottish
Doesn't
thing.
sound like anything I would want to be eating. That's for sure. Yeah.
Ooh.
And then Ryan's Reef said, what polyfilter are you using?
Oh, I thought Polyfilter was the brand.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I thought there was only one polyfilter.
Is it made by Arcadia or someone like that? I can't remember who makes them.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, green box, isn't it? That's the only one I've ever known.
White and green, I believe. I'm
definitely not Googling that.
It's a family PC, Ron. Come on.
Yeah. If Ron says, please Google it, you definitely don't want to Google it.
No. It's probably something to do with next week's reefing news.
It's a regular old thing. Yeah.
Okay. Bernadette saw it in Sainsbury's. Wow.
Go on, what's in it then, Harry?
Let's have a look. I was just looking at images. Oh, look, AI mode.
It must have clams and tomato. It's got to have.
There's different ones. The Caesar. Other cocktails can be mixed with spirits. Oh, okay. So is it for like Bloody Marys and stuff? Commercial drink made by Mott's that combines tomato juice concentrate with a species of dried clam.
Why would you want seafood in a drink? I know.
Maybe you're doing like a I'm a celebrity thing.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I reckon the only person that buys that is someone like Dong to dose it in his tank.
Yes.
Let's see what this might do.
Yeah, that's grim.
Yes, yeah.
Ron, you can stick your clamato juice.
Yes. Is that your Red Dwarf mug?
Me?
Yeah.
I won't understand a reference. I haven't watched anything.
You haven't watched Red Dwarf? Okay. One of them has a big H on his forehead.
Oh, okay. Yes, that is my Red Dwarf mug.
So the main topic for tonight was talking about tank sizes. And I think between us, we've probably got quite a range of tank sizes.
Yeah.
I've got the jellyfish tank, which is 10 litre, a 52 litre fluval, and then a 240 something reefer 250. Then Jamie, I think your little tank there, or not little tank, but your reef tank is the next one.
This frag tank is 180 litres, and the main tank is about 500 something litres. Together, it's a 700 litre system. I did have the Fluval Flex 57 litre with softies in it, so proper nano, and then I've got the 1,500 litre. So, yeah, bit of a mix. Yeah.
And then Harry, you're sitting middle of the road there.
Yeah.
With your 525.
525, and then the 70 litre desktop cube. 70 litre, 75 maybe.
If someone was starting to kind of come into the hobby, what size would you be thinking about pointing someone to for their first tank? So
my idea hasn't changed since my days of working in the trade. It's still that boring answer: just buy the biggest tank you can fit and afford. Bigger volume, easier. The only reason I say that is all those smaller tanks that come out, like we spoke about earlier, great. However, you have to be disciplined and lightly stock it for it to work. But what does every new fish keeper want to do? They want to put loads of fish and loads of coral in there. And that's when it goes wrong for them. And that's when they fall out of love with it. And that's when the problems start kicking in, the nuisance algae, all the rest of it. So bigger tank, the better. I appreciate budgets can be a problem, or you make a lot of sacrifices and get a smaller tank and just keep a shrimp goby pair and some softies, which will look amazing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I think because I started off with the Fluval Evo 52, I struggled to commit to paying any more for a tank until I knew whether it was going to be something that I liked. And I'll admit, until I got addicted to it, the thought of the running cost of a big tank was just put me off of doing it at all. And it wasn't until I started to run one and like you say, you get that urge to get bigger and more and things like that, and you're starting to like, get just a little bit of a bigger tank. You know, I could have saved so much money just by going to a massive tank to start with.
Yeah. It's a false economy, isn't it? You buy the cheaper tanks, you end up buying 2 or 3 of them to get your eventual tank. But then, you know what? It's the same. So I started playing a bit of golf with my friends, and a set of golf clubs can be $1,000 for a named brand, like set of clubs. And I'm thinking, shit, what if I'm rubbish at golf or I don't like it? So I bought a cheap second-hand set of clubs, and I thought, if I do like it, then I'll get serious. Turns out I was pretty crap at golf, and I'm quite a competitive person, so I quit because I was beating me every time. And I didn't waste $1,000 on a set of gloves. I wasted, I think, about 70 quid. So
yeah, so that's the kind of other side to it. I think I basically agree with both points. I think 4 foot is a good kind of bigger, smaller size. I think that's a nice kind of middle ground, 3-4 foot. I think there is place for things like the Evo and obviously the TMC now. I think that makes sense as someone that does want to try it, like trying the cheaper golf clubs.
Yeah. And also, don't forget, like a lot of our living habits have changed even in the last 20 years. There's in London, for example, I'd probably say 60% of the population live in flats now. So you can't do the big stuff. So those desktop tanks, nano tanks, have got a place for a lot more people. So, you know, that's probably, if you go to most aquatic stores, most of the tanks they have on display are geared towards the new fish keepers, smaller size tanks. So it's obviously the way the market's gone, because that's what leads shops to display what they display. But it is, the bigger the volume of water, more stable, easier it is. It just costs an F ton of money.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think if I'd have been a bit more confident when I started off, because that Fluval Evo kit was 150 quid, and then I had to buy a heater, and then you buy the rock and the sand, and you know, you're 250 quid in easily before you put any fish in it. Then, okay, let's have a look on Marketplace. What tanks can you get for 250 quid?
Yeah,
because
good point.
that one behind me was 120 quid.
Yeah,
mad. Yeah, mad. Value for money wise, you can't beat that, can you? Like, and then that extra 100, 200 quid you've saved, you can buy your rock and you can buy your ancillary bits and all that.
Yeah, good point.
You're sat there with a nice 3 foot tank that's cost you the same as walking out the door with a box.
Yeah.
So it's I guess we're sort of debating now the real world versus the practicalities of it, aren't we? In an ideal world, we'd all go out and have a massive tank, endless list of fish. But I think what you said, Harry, like 3 to 4 foot, you can keep most of the reef species. You certainly open yourself up to a much wider choice of fish than you do if you've got a 70 litre tank.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And that's what people want when you get into the hobby. You want colourful fish. That's what most people get into it for, right?
Yeah, I think it would be quite easy for most people, like most people in the chat, most people that have done this for a little while, to kind of say to someone who is brand new to the hobby, go bigger. But I think as that new hobbyist, it can be quite difficult to consume that and kind of fully understand that, because I think you can say that to someone and they can kind of appreciate it. But I think in that kind of position where you are just, it's just a fish tank, at the beginning for a lot of people, and to try and
justify it.
Yeah, can be difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you've got the other end of the spectrum where people go into a shop that have done quite well in life, but still a complete newbie to the marine fish keeping world, and just say, I want a massive tank and all the kit, and don't have a problem spending 10 grand on it, and then still have no better idea what to do with it than the guy that buys the 80 litre. So it's context. Like, you can, all I was trying to say there in a roundabout way, you can go and buy a massive tank with all this limitless budget, and it still be a bag of shit. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I think you learn a lot on the way when you go up the tank sizes and deal with different problems. So I think that's definitely
it's all part
of the path.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those of us that are in the marine hobby, because we do invest a significant chunk of our money into the hobby, we're a lot more invested in making sure it looks nice, the fish are healthy, the corals are healthy. Whereas if you've got, not to belittle it, but a little cheap freshwater tank, community tank, that the fish are 10 for a tenner sort of thing, you're, as sad as it is, much less invested in the longevity of it, aren't you? Because at that price, everything's replaceable.
Yeah. A good point. And I think having heard some stories about reef shops and having, when I first started, being told a fish was completely fine for so I had 2 clownfish and a royal grammar in my fluval Evo. And I walked into my local fish shop one day and I saw a fish and I was like, oh, that's really nice. And I said to the guy working in the shop, I've got a fluval Evo, 52 litre, and I've got a pair of clownfish and I've got a royal grammar in it. Can I get that? He's like, oh, yeah. That'll be completely fine. Really laid back fish, that. I had it a week and I took it back to the shop. It was a yellowtail damsel.
Yeah.
And I think, that's really hard if someone's new in the hobby and they go in and they do all the right things, they go and ask in the shop and then the shop just either don't know or lie.
At least it wasn't a tiger shark or something. So.
Yeah, but maybe there should be, like, if you're new to the hobby, just research one fish that definitely won't go in your tank.
Yeah,
and then
I think that's the thing as
ask
well.
about that fish when you go in.
People, there's an expectation for an LFS to give true and honest advice. And as someone that kind of consults with people newer to the hobby, in kind of my area, the amount of times I hear people say to me, oh yeah, they've been told that this tang or this whatever is fine in this 200 litre tank. It happens really often, and these are like industry professionals. And it's really infuriating, and I'm not sure where that stems from. And, the profit they're going to make on selling that one fish, it's going to end up, I don't know.
It's counterproductive for the shops, because if you're in the hobby and you get missold a fish by a shop, chances are if you're in the hobby still a year later, you've learned a lot more than you did back then, and you think, oh, that shop sold me down the garden path. I'm not going to trust them anymore. Not going in there again. Whereas counterintuitively, some shops, like where I help out, as you know, AAC, the amount of fish sales they turn down, but yet still have a loyal customer base years later that can't keep coming back. You turn away a 20 quid clownfish today, but that guy still comes back 5 years later with his 8-foot reef tank. So it's
I've seen that firsthand in there. That's where I got my powder blue, and they made sure I was ready for that powder blue. So that was really appreciated.
Not everyone's like us. Some people still see fish as disposable items, and they'll buy one and replace it every couple of weeks because that's what they do. And I don't like that. And as soon as you start to figure that out, you can start to whittle them down and refuse sales. But some shops don't.
I think what Ron said there is quite interesting. A dead fish is another fish to be sold. But I think you have a good point, Jamie, that when someone is then more established and more advanced in the hobby, that's when that kicks in. But how many people do stay in the hobby for that long for that to then
The profitable ones. An LFS wants someone to be a long-term hobbyist.
Sure.
They might make
a good LFS.
Yeah, they might make a quick few quid selling a guy fish for 6 months, but then he'll give the hobby up and never see him again.
Yeah.
But Ron just likes to disagree with everything I say, so just ignore what he says.
I guess it depends on how populous the area is. If you've got a lot of people, you can burn through them, and hopefully I'm not going to upset anyone, but quite commonly we would refer to a shop like that as the ATS model, where back in the day ATS were known for just ripping everybody off, but there was so many new drivers every year that they had enough people that had never experienced ATS before. They'd go there, get sold a load of stuff they didn't need, pay for a load of work they didn't need, and then they'd learn their lesson. But they'd made the money out of them then, and they just went to the next person. So if you've got enough population around you to be able to burn through people like that, then they will sadly still make money out of it. But there's less and less people that are keeping marine tanks, so your ability to do that is probably shrinking.
Yeah, it's very much a nice to have hobby, isn't it? If people are feeling the squeeze as we all are, they're less likely to go and start to get into the hobby as it is. So I guess that fuels the fire for smaller, cheaper, smaller tanks. And the cycle goes on, doesn't it? How do we entice these people in?
I think we need to realise, because I hadn't until recently, that as a community, how much power, and I don't mean us on camera, I mean the community, and control in a way that we have over the supply chain of things. Because if you have a look at what Liam's done single-handedly, yes, he come on a stream and talked about it. I think I'm right in saying that there's no more shark eggs coming into the UK.
Not via TNT.
Yeah,
no, they've agreed to it. That's
kind
great.
Of leading supplier.
The little man's got a voice, hasn't he? That's great. And the same thing, if we all stop buying things like panther groupers and stuff, they wouldn't be sold. If we just stop buying them, we'll stop getting them in. Because again, how beautiful are they when they're small, right? Lovely fish. I can see why people get drawn to them.
Yeah.
But how many times do you see an 18-inch one, a big adult one?
Yeah.
Never. What happens to them all?
Yeah.
They get sold to the wrong people and don't make it past half the size they're supposed to get to.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I think there's probably still quite a few fish that come in that probably shouldn't. And unfortunately, when you think of some of them, like the dragon wrasse, they look really cool when they're small. Like really, really. But you look at it and you think, the hell is that? That's really unusual. But then they get big, they change, they destroy everything, and that's then not what people want.
Yeah, no, it's good. Great there. Ron says we are the hobby. That's 100%. We even got to the point now where us as a group, either talking on live streams, talking on Discord, talking in WhatsApp groups, over. There's like retailers and suppliers involved in those groups as well now. So you've got a direct link to the people that import dry goods. You've got a direct link to some of the shops that supply fish. So all these conversations we have, they do reverberate around the hobby. It's great.
Yeah.
How many hobbies do that?
Yeah, very few, I imagine.
Yeah. That's positive. Yeah, positive stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Other things impacting tank choice are things like equipment.
Sure.
Because it starts to snowball, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You get a bigger tank. You go from not needing a skimmer to needing a skimmer. Or from needing a small skimmer to a much bigger skimmer.
Yeah. When you look at pictures of people's tanks online, I like looking at people's sumps and the geeky side of it. And some people's sumps, you see, is like, is there any water in that? It's the equipment. It's just like so much stuff that you add on. And yeah, that's not so bad though, because you do buy that as and when you go along, don't you? Like your calcium consumption goes up after a year, so you consider a calcium reactor or a doser or something. So you don't buy it all from scratch, do you? But although you should be aware of it, what your long-term goal is, because once you're so far in, you're kind of in, aren't you?
Yeah.
So and I think that's, I'm a bit of a researcher, so when I started to look at tanks, that was exactly why I couldn't bite the bullet and get a bigger tank at the beginning. So I was like, yeah, but that's going to cost me, I'm going to need one of these and one of them, and then all of those things are using electricity, and and then you start to add it all up, and you think that's a lot of money a month, which is not so hard to justify once you're in the hobby and enjoying it, and getting lots of, like, you get that enjoyment back.
Sure.
But yeah, until you know that you're enjoying it, it's really hard to do that. Well, it was for me anyway.
But then there are some brands that are cheaper, more entry level. So, you know, we can't all go out and get Royal exclusive stuff, but we can all go out and buy other brands that are a lot cheaper. And you haven't got to have MP60s. You can get Jabal pumps. You know, they all do much in the same thing. Yeah. So there's ways and means.
Yes.
In a much way, you know, we don't all drive Bentleys, but you might have a Corsa that still gets you to the shop and back.
Yeah. Just want to mention Liam's comment there as well about everything in the hobby can be difficult to justify at times. I think that's a really, really good talking point. And I think, again, it should be something that a community can back and focus on a little bit more. Like how can this be more ethical? Is tank bred fish really something that we should focus on more? Of course, you have the other side and the collectors who are looking after our reefs in places like Indonesia and things like that. But I think these discussions, I think perhaps the hobby just needs to modernize a little bit to be a bit more aware that a creature coming out the ocean. Yeah, I think it's quite easy, really, when you kind of think about that, to go, yeah, that's a bit rubbish, and what can we do to think about that differently, or perhaps go about that in a different way, while still thinking about people's livelihoods and jobs and the reefs and everything of that nature.
How far do you go though? Because no fish in that tank over there wanted to be in that tank over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's my decision, my conscience put them in there. So that's why I take it upon myself to try and give them the best care I can. Oh, they're getting a bit big now. I've got to do this, and I've got to do everything else for them. It's not, you know, you just got to have a bit of respect for the livestock. They're wild animals. They weren't procreated on a reef on the other side of the world, destined for someonene's Fluvolt Evo on their desktop.
Yeah. I mean, the same could be said for dogs, for anything. You know, when I may have said it before, when I've gone to Greece and the dogs are just running around, and they it's got to a point now where a lot of the locals, they'll put a collar on them just so they looked after to us simpletons. But you know, they just lay on the beach. They'll go to a house when they want to, if they want a bit of food, or they'll find their own food. They get fed at the restaurants in peak season. And they're a lot more free than my dog who's sat on the sofa. I think it's all about perspective, but obviously it's my thing. You know, being mindful as much as you can, and doing what we can.
Yeah. I think if there's if you're doing your best for the animals in your care and there's no neglect in place, then that's half the battle. There's always going to be an ethical debate about should anything be in captivity. Always. Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, zoos were the best thing in the world. And now I think of a zoo as being quite a cruel thing. Yeah. You know? So there's ways and means.
Yeah. And I think Terry had a good point here that, it might be TMC today, but someone else could start bringing in things, and then it is a little bit down to us as well, making that conscious choice. And I think we're better than we ever have been as a population. I think at making more mindful choices about what we buy and the impacts of them.
Yeah, I agree with Matt. This has gone a bit deep, hasn't it? It's a good discussion.
It's important. I think it's good to have.
But yeah, a good point. Tank bred fish don't know any different. But at some point there is a live caught, and it's probably topped up. We've talked about this before on live streams. Topped up to keep the healthy, biodiversity with the bloodlines and everything.
I think it's going to be difficult to pull off, but I think it is eventually the way to go. But you could go even further and say, do they have it kind of deep rooted within them to
like how many generations does it take for that to be true? Like an F1 bred fish is probably just as wild in instinct as its wild
instinct.
parents.
Yeah, that's the word I couldn't think of.
Yeah.
But if we're 10 generations down the line, like with clownfish, for example, they've all got different morphs and long fins that wouldn't even survive in the wild.
Yeah, I mean, look at wolves versus the dog. That that kind of thing.
How do you get a toy poodle from a wolf? A toy poodle is not going to survive in the wild, is it? And I must admit, actually, I don't want to make this like the ethical hour or anything, but things like longfin clownfish that clearly struggle to stay swimming and buoyant. I think that's cruel for me. Like balloon fish in the freshwater world, it's just disgusting. Like we've gone too far there.
But is that then like pugs?
Yeah, 100%. It's like pugs and things. Yeah.
I
love
pugs.
I love pugs. Beautiful dogs, but I mean, not cool.
No. So we've had a few other names drop in. So we have Elisa with us. Good evening. Good afternoon. Sorry, Elisa. We have Paul. Thank you very much, Paul. A new name as well. I don't remember seeing Paul before. Anyone else?
That's good.
Huh?
Good.
I'm wondering.
He clearly doesn't understand how this works. No, that's good. That's really cool.
Yeah, Anna disagrees with you, Harry. She says your dog is perfectly happily underneath the duvet.
He's in the bed. No, he's always in the bed.
Yeah, I was like, is he surprised?
No, not at all.
There you go. Paul has confirmed it's his first time on here, so yeah, welcome, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Welcome. It's not normally this bad. We're normally a lot more upbeat, but yeah, we've gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole today, haven't we?
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah. So, and I think we kind of talked about fish in this, but that's, for me, that's another big positive with a bigger tank, is you can happily hose. My words are not working very well today, are they? Happily house bigger fish in a nice way and give them a good habitat. I think that's
it.
Yeah.
And see more natural behaviour and all the rest of it. And do you know what I'm planning to do in a larger tank is keep hopefully a pair of mandarins and a pair of scooter bennies, space-wise, plenty of space and line of sight breakups to get out of the way, which I could never do elsewhere. So
yeah,
very
cool.
And then you get the interactions between those sort of species from the same genera, and just good to watch, like an experience I wouldn't get in the size tank I've got here. But, and like taller tanks, like if those of you that keep like mandarins, especially in pairs, if you ever see them do their spawning swim, they swim up and spider around each other. It's amazing to watch, but they need at least sort of 2.5 foot to do that. It's very. So having that sort of space, I'm really hoping that happens.
Yeah, I've had it happen once. I've seen them do it in my tank. I've got a pair of mandarins, and I've done it. I've seen them do it once in the corner, spiraling up with each other. Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, so the same reason why you won't get yellow tanks breeding in your tanks. They need about 20 foot, don't they? Because the pressure drop forces the eggs out. So
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
it's good job we've got a smart guy on.
Most tanks that do the massive like mass spawnings, have you ever seen them on like the documentaries? They all congregate and all swim up at once. It's that drop. I think it's every 10 meters it drops a bar in pressure or something like that. But it's something to do with the pressure difference. Helps force everything out. Hence why they do those darts up really fast. So it's not going to happen in any of our tanks. So
yeah. No, yeah, and Liam's talking about having lots of small fish rather than a big shark.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. So, what else have you been up to? We can't really talk to you much, Jamie, because you've just been on holiday a lot.
I said
saw some turtles.
I've not had holiday in 3 years, and I've got 3 in a month. So yeah, the recent one wasn't expected. I just got called over to Turkey for work, which I know violins and all that sort of stuff. But while I was over there, my boss took me to see a turtle sanctuary, thinking I'd be interested in it. Absolutely, and that was amazing. We even saw a couple of wild turtles in the sea, and there was that one that came right up in the harbour. That one obviously comes back because the tourists feed the fish and it's around. So I get that, but still to see one up close, a wild turtle, was amazing. And then in the sanctuary, they had a load of babies that had hatched out a week prior. So seeing little tiny turtles, really good stuff over there. But some of the stuff, the reasons why some of those turtles were in that sanctuary were just horrific. Like, I get they get like accidental boat strikes and stuff just because they swim through shipping lanes or whatever it may be. But the good stuff is the fishermen bring them in back to the sanctuary because they're quite well respected out there, which is nice. But the bit that really got me was the 15% of the turtles in there were there through deliberate human action. And they even had one where someone obviously had caught one and cable tied it together to a stick to basically go and get his family to show it. And it was there for ages and all emaciated and stuff. And I was like, why would you ever do that? Why would anyone ever do stuff like that? But thankfully, he was found and they rehabilitate him and stuff. But they're such awesome animals. Like, just humans make me sick sometimes. Back on the ethics again, aren't we? Sorry. But no, it's really cool. It's in like this on a big estuary, so the big freshwater lake that came into the sea. And we was about 2 or 3 kilometers inland. And I did the old. I didn't have my refractometer with me, so I did the. It's not that salty. It was clearly brackish. So, like fish-wise, there was a couple of mullet and stuff that had come up from the sea, but there was a load of freshwater fish in there. So I'd never thought a sea turtle would come that far inland and feed and be seen. Wow. But learned something new.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Interesting. And Harry, you missed your last outing at the live stream, didn't you? Because you were diving.
I was, just in a pool. But it was my introduction to my BSAC qualification. So very excited to kind of get that going full force. I would like to make kind of a video on all of that. But got to get my weddings out the way first. But I'm going to kind of explain all in them and why I think it's going to be really exciting. And I just, I want to get out there and do it. UK as well. I want to hire a dry suit and get out in the UK waters with the sea lions and all of that kind of thing, seals, and have a really good time and film it and enjoy it. So really exciting.
Excellent.
You probably tell.
Yes, it does show just a little bit.
Good. And
have
then
you done your theory?
No. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube, but no, I've done no official theory as of yet. But
you'll be good. You'll be good for it.
A few dives. So, and I used to do quite a lot of open water swimming and swimming. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Excellent.
And then I've been thinking about this little frag tank a little bit more. I used to sell more coral than I do now. I think I sell in small enough quantities that I can get away with migrating the coral that's in there into my little frag system I've got in the sump, which kind of frees up that tank. And because it's now plumbed into the main display with a DOS, just doing a continual water change between the two, it basically runs itself. So I'm thinking, originally I was thinking like a display refugium, but I've kind of caveat from that a little bit. I think it will be like a display algae tank for all different macroalgae, possibly a mangrove. I've got a Red Sea LED 90 over it that I'm planning to run on quite like a white spectrum. And I think that might look really cool. And it's got the bonus of, if I notice my nutrients, my nitrates and phosphates are too high or too low in the main display, I can change the amount of water, theoretically, that is circulating between the two tanks to control nitrate and phosphate in the main display. So I think that's quite a exciting thing. It's all in my head for now. I want to get it right, but potentially something
like a live light reactor. That'd be cool.
And then obviously I want to get some like pom-pom crabs and just some like more interesting creatures and critters in there. I think it'd be really cool.
Does sound very cool.
Yeah, I've got a similar idea. I wanted to do like a living refugium as well at one point. I think because I get a buzz out of creepy crawlers and what comes out of rock. So that'd be awesome. I've now come to think, with this tank behind me, because the sump is so bloody big, I've got a 2-foot square chamber for the first overflow. So all the dirtiest water that comes into it. So basically it's going to have all uneaten food, and what's the worst point in the tank? I'm thinking I'm going to do, and not light it as well, a bit of an NPS setup in there, and put a couple of gorgonians and some strange NPS stuff, duster worms and stuff, and have that under there as like my NPS tank. Again, because like you said, it's part of the main system. It's not any more extra burden, and it's an empty sump chamber. I've got no intention of doing anything with it other than a settlement chamber. So that's my sort of. Obviously, I want to get all this looking good, and that'll be when it's a lot more mature than it is now. But it's all in my head at the minute. But it's part of the fun, right? You plan all this stuff out.
It's the part I really like, I think, is that stage where you're sort of laying in bed, and then another little idea comes along to what you might do or how you might change it. Or it's a really exciting part of the hobby for me. I think it's one of the really nice steps.
Yeah, that is. Planning's the best bit. Once it's full up and you're watching it grow, you're doing very little to it, and you get a bit itchy.
Yeah, it's. I quite like trying new things out as well, which is not the greatest place to be for a reef tank, because obviously stability is king. But like trying new equipment and all sorts of things like that, I love doing all that. What else was that? I was going to show you my plan, wasn't I? Where? This isn't very organised, is it? I was all distracted in the green room beforehand because I was getting myself organised, and now I'm trying to show you this. I wonder if it's just that the video format isn't compatible.
I'll fill in some space while you look for that. I'll answer Liam.
Yeah, okay.
I'm interested. Yeah.
So same as leading on from what Elisa said, just a little bit above about how many tanks can I fit in there. And Liam, my fish list is going to be most of the fish that are in my main display. But the plan is to be like tangs and angels, really. Tangs, angels, and sticks is what I want to go for. But I've got my powder blue, I've got my gem tang, convict yellow. Regal Angel, Gold Flake Angel, Tamini Tang, they'll be going over, and the Fox Face. And I'd like to get, in an ideal world, another few yellow tangs. Potentially, I'd love to get an Achilles tang if money was okay, and the powder blue might be a bit of a dick, so that might be a bit of a, I'm not sure. And in Angels, like I want to get a Majestic, and I want to get probably a Juvenile Emperor at some point as well.
Wow.
So all that sort of stuff. So which means obviously all the clams will stay in these systems. I'll get some more clams because I just love clams, and LPS, and it will be mainly SPS over in here. So loads of stuff, and that all sounds like that's a dead easy thing to do. It's going to take me ages to get all that sorted out. But,
amazing.
Yeah, angels, tanks, and sticks.
Yeah, yeah. Angels look so nice, but then they eat all your coral and your clams.
Yeah, I was considering changing my Instagram handle because it's going to be loads of fish with attitude and loads of sticks. I was going to go sticks with dicks, but I probably won't do that.
I think Dave might beat you to it though. Now he's getting into his sticks a little bit more.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sticks with dicks, Dave. Go for it.
We had a couple of other people join as well. So good evening, Reefy Reese.
Hello, Reefy Reese.
Good evening, James.
Yeah.
It's starting to sink in.
I was going to say Jamie, so you're probably right with James, yeah.
Yeah. And Fish Ventura, good afternoon.
Hello.
So the reason I couldn't find that file is because the file format isn't compatible with the video streaming on StreamYard, but what I can do is I can share my desktop. I can show the video there.
Wow.
So I did a quick rendering of what I think
just quickly rip that up, did you?
Yeah. I did this when I got in from work, so just a little play around with it. That's amazing. Kind of what I think it's going to be like. I think I was just about to go to front on view. Yeah. So I was thinking about having an outlet at each side. So I can have an outlet coming out each side of the weir box, having a main drain which will connect into a Reef Mat 1200.
Yeah.
Then an emergency drain. And then this chamber would have a Reef Mat in. This one would have a skimmer in. And then the last chamber would have obviously return pumps in. But this middle chamber would be big enough to have loads of other stuff. Mm-hmm. And the reason I've left this space here is because when you open the Reef Mat, you need 16 centimetres of space.
Okay.
So otherwise you can't change the roll.
On there. That's what I thought you were going to say. You want to run an MP10 in your sump to keep it clean.
Yeah, but it would only blow as far as the first baffle, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So if I hit play again, I think
on the left.
Yeah, so I've kind of done this with two dry sides on it as well.
Are you a fan of running your overflow straight into your filter mat then? So everything passes through it?
At the moment, why mine is connected like that, I would like to be able to have a tap that I can divert a percentage through it. I think that's what I'll end up doing with it. And this is why I wasn't too sure about, but if I design it for a Reef Mat 1200 and decide to go with a Reef Mat 500 and divert a percentage of the flow away, I can. But I can also use a 1200 and still divert a percentage away. So
yeah,
that's. I was thinking about doing that when I put it in, to kind of tee it off and then have a restrictor on.
Yeah, I think so. There's two schools of thought. I think I've come to realise a filter mat takes out too much. So I've got mine now. Just it's pump fed, so I don't want everything to pass through it. It's just really efficient, aren't they? They're really, really efficient. And especially if you've got, I don't know, if you've got the whole volume of your tank going through a filter mat, there's going to be nothing getting out of it. So any pods and stuff that get washed down are not going to be passing through the sump. And
I don't know, my sump gets pretty dirty after my roller mat. I still get loads of build up.
Yeah, mine is.
Okay.
So Dan said he wouldn't run the emergency drain into the Reef Mat. So although they're just kind of drawn, it's not actually going to be connected to the Reef Mat. It's just going to dump into this chamber.
Sorry, have you said the dimensions?
So I've got it written down here. So it's going to be 7 foot left to right.
Okay.
2 foot tall and 30 inches front to back.
Yeah, nice. So you don't want to stick another foot on the end, decided against it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was only going to go with that if I saw one secondhand that was going to be what I wanted. And then, yeah, you can see here where I've got like main drain, emergency drain, and the 2 outlets.
I can't believe you haven't just put a square to show that that's where the weir goes.
What do you mean? I've actually...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's impressive. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it doesn't take that. I think the benefit is having a good CAD package to use because it makes it easier, definitely. So yeah, that's where I got to. I mean, I'm open to suggestions. Like I say, this was kind of dreamt up today and rendered just before the live stream. So if you've got some ideas and you think, oh yeah, don't do that, that's going to be a nightmare.
To know what you were planning to do with the doors. So are you doing like 3 doors, and how will that? Because obviously you've got a slimmer section, and then the other 2 equal size, or is the middle one bigger and the?
So I don't know if. So it comes with 4 doors, and I don't know where those battens that I've put in as separate areas. I don't know if I can set where they are, or if they're even included. But if they're not included, I'm adding them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question, Matt. How big will the sump be? So the sump is 1 meter left to right.
Okay.
It
is decent size.
700, I think, front to back, and 450 tall.
Okay.
Yeah. What about if you did sacrifice that right-hand dry box and make the sump bigger and incorporate a frag tank in there and just extra volume capacity? Because you don't forget, you got to get your calculations right that in the event of a power cut, that sump can handle the overflow.
Yes. Yeah, that's the next bit that I need to look at because I haven't done that calculation yet. This chamber in the middle is going to have a skimmer in it. And yeah, Terry's just said the same thing.
Well, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, this section here is going to have a skimmer in, and that's 500 left to right and 700 front to back. So it's quite a big chamber. I think that will double up as a skimmer and frag rack area.
Okay.
Yeah, or a reactor or whatever you want to put in it. You know, there'll be enough space to. And then I also have the option of putting an extra batten in this right-hand chamber, and then having it so that it could go kind of 1, 2, and then to the front for 3, and to the back for 4, and then the pump comes out of there.
Okay. What about your top up? Where's that
Top
going?
up at the moment I have in a separate cabinet, so I was probably going to put that in this side and then have all my electrical in this side.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think we can see it? Because we can't, by the way. I didn't know if you were saying this side with your mouse.
Yeah, I was indeed doing exactly that. Yeah. So this side will be probably auto top up, maybe dosing heads or something, and then everything else in this side over here.
What is the reason for not making those equidistant and just moving the sump?
Is your OCD kicking in, Harry?
No.
I thought it might be a really good way to trigger people.
Yeah.
No, it's a good point. I don't have. I think I approached it with. I sized the sump based on. I looked at the size of the sump on the Red Sea Reefer S1000.
Yeah.
And I thought if it's good enough for that, it's probably going to be good enough for this.
Sure.
Because that's a slightly bigger volume.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, this side here, because I'm also thinking, do I get like a fridge freezer for putting food in?
Okay.
And those integrated ones are 600, designed for 600 cabinets, so that space is 600.
It's a lot of heat though.
Yes, yeah. So it was like I thought about it. I thought, well, if I make it 600, then if I decide on it, I could put it in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, this has been dreamt up today. So
yeah, I can't criticize that in any way, shape, or form. I don't know how you'd,
yeah. Maybe with the depth of the sump as well, you're going to have some platform for your skimmer, and that height of getting it off. What Liam's saying.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was two things. One is I can vary the height of the baffles here to change the height in there. But the second one is what I did in this tank behind me. I 3D printed a platform to sit it on and just kind of used that to lift the skimmer up to the height that worked for it.
Yeah, that's what I've had to do. I've built a box out of egg crate. I need to re-liven up our conversation, Harry, about something a bit nicer. But that's the problem with a deep sump. It's every skimmer's got a different height, hasn't it? So you can't please everyone. I
think the benefit of more water volume outweighs that of having to prop the skimmer up on something. I think that's a one and done, isn't it? This might be a pain to sort out, get it exact, but once it's done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a lot of questions for me to be thinking about here. Thank you very much, guys. There's what else did I say? Saw a comment a second ago. Manifolds, like these pipes are a pain in the ass to draw. I won't lie. So I did just I drew one and then tweaked the dimensions for the second one because it was just too much of a hassle to get it drawn up exactly how they will really look. But yeah, there's going to be, I've got to sort out the bulkheads and unions and all sorts of things in there to make life a little bit easier. But, capturing those main things of working out the shut-off volume, that's going to be a big one.
So this is obviously quite like time consuming and whatever, and it seems as if you enjoy that kind of side of things in the design and stuff. But I'm curious to know what presumably you're saving from what it would otherwise cost to buy off the shelf tank. What are you looking at there? What kind of saving? Like, are you looking at 50% or is it
about that? Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah,
wow.
I think the D&D comes in at about $7,000. I think this is going to come in at about 3.5.
Yeah, it's a big difference, and you're getting exactly what you want.
Yeah. To be fair, I think the big difference is because of the glass, because this will be a braced. I think either 10 or 12 mil glass. Can't remember.
Probably want braced.
But yeah, I think I would be more comfortable with braced than a braceless.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
especially on that size.
Yeah,
I quite like a brace as well. The braces for me, it's like it's somewhere to sit an auto feeder. It's somewhere to rest your mesh lids and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And also the peace of mind that it's got a bit more rigidity to it than the open top.
You could probably fit like a whole bottle of Nopox on there as well,
without the lid screwed on. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely lots of things to be thinking about. I think for me, the main one is about the shut-off volume, so I don't flood the house.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, I'd like to think that because the sump's probably bigger than that volume would need. And I think the total volume, even with the bigger sump, comes in at just under 1,000 litres, like 850, 900, something like that, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, what size is yours, Jamie?
My sump is probably oversized. It's 6 by 2 by 2.
Wow, yeah.
But obviously, this tank was custom built with big, messy, predatory freshwater fish in mind, and I had over 100 kilos of biomedia in there and stuff. So it's big. It's really big, but actually, it's turned into a blessing because I'm not cramming equipment in, and I've got a whole spare chamber to sod about with and extra volume. So, yeah.
I must have been... Go on.
So if I'm honest with you, if I was building it from scratch, I would still go and try and fit the biggest sump I could under there. Again, this is in my garage, so I don't need it to look as nice as it will do in your house. So all my electronics are on show around there, plugged in. So if you look around the back of the tank, it looks pretty crap, but it doesn't have to look good out here. So I've got maximum space under there for water.
Yeah. Having that surplus space, I think, even if you really plan everything to a T, to have an extra bit of space to add that thing that you need 2 years down the line. Or in my case, I had a refugium, decided I didn't need it, and now have a frag tank in my. It's just it's not one of the Red Sea partitioned ones. It's just the normal sump. And yeah, that space at the front is perfect for the little frag tank. And like Ron sent me over all of those amazing corals when I had the disaster in the tank. And it's really nice to have a space to put them knowing they're safe. I've got 2 AI blades down there, little ones. So yeah, they've got good flow, good light in, and they're just away from everything, easy to observe. I think when you've got a lot of sticks up the top, as bad as it sounds, you can put 10 new sticks in and then forget which ones are new. So for that as well, it's good to have them kind of all down there. They're staying there for, well, in this instance, they've probably been in there a few weeks now. But yeah, obviously, it's nice to have, nice space to have, and then they'll move up and the next lot can go in.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said, by the way, for stressing the corals twice, because they're going to get used to that lighting and then have to get used to more lighting. So there is that to think about as well. But for me, the negatives are outweighed by the positive.
Yeah. So I saw a good comment here from Terry. Very helpful.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to convert that into metric before it makes any sense to me. But I can do that conversion. Yeah. So like I say, I wanted to show something, but it's definitely getting there.
So how far off are you from pressing the button?
As soon as I'm confident that I've got all the dimensions right, I'll be smashing that button.
Nice.
What happens if you go to Aqua and they offer you 40% off the DD?
Ain't gonna happen, is it?
No, I think customs the way to go. On a big tank, like you say, the price is the way to go. And get it how you want it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing that I like about the idea of getting a Red Sea 1000 or the D&D 2100 or something like that is someone's worked out you need this much space in the sump for when it shuts down. All your pipe work, you need this pipe work, it's all pre-made and you just bolt it in. All of those things that are kind of opportunities for me to fuck up, someone else has taken that option away from me so that it's not going to go wrong. But it does then take away some of that flexibility where you can kind of tweak to be a bit more like what you want. yeah, I'm just really nervous about.
You would think the
cocking it up.
manufacturers, whoever's building this tank, though, would check for oversights like that, surely. At least advise.
You would like to think so, but I imagine that even if they missed it, it would be down to me as the person that said, I want it this size.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'd also work out things like flow velocity under gravity through your, I don't know, 54 mil pipe, whatever it may be, and it may tell you that that's insufficient for the flow rate through your sump and all that physics stuff that comes into it.
Yeah, because I have absolutely no clue about that. It's like
no, I mean, I say all that as if I know what I'm talking about. I don't at all. When I plumbed up my frag tank onto the main system, I just hooked it up and thought, how high does the overflow need to be? And just guessed it, plumbed it all in, turned it all off, and no word of a lie, my simulated power cut, the sump fills up, and I've got about a centimetre. So it's very, very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was just me being a bit of a maverick, and I don't think about things as much as you. That'll work. It'll be fine. So yeah, don't do what I do.
Yeah, and like I say, that when you start thinking about all of those different ways you can get it wrong, then going down the off the shelf route is much more attractive. And if it wasn't, so if like the DD2100 they did with that, and they made it in a thinner glass and it was braced, and it was a more competitive price, you'd go, and they've done all the calculations for me, and I can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's a comment from Terry about the non-return valves, the ones with a little sort of paddle inside them. That I've seen, they do work quite well on freshwater tanks, but every time I've taken pipework apart on a reef tank, inside is just encrusted with all sorts of, hard-shelled worms and things like that I think would just make that defunct in a matter of months. Because obviously I don't really take my valves apart and maintain the insides and brush them through. I just, we all leave them, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't know how effective they are. Maybe Terry's run it and maybe they are good, but...
Yeah. Oh,
there you go. Melinda's just backed me up on that. But...
yeah.
Well, you think I've got my Red Sea valve needs cleaning again, and it's a G2 one. I say again, this will be the third time I've done it in however long this tank's been running, so it's not particularly bad. But
there we go.
Yeah.
The other thing Terry said as well, I forgot to mention, that's a good shout, is just put a siphon break in the pipe. So just drill a little 5 mil hole. Break the siphon, more water stays in your tank. So it's not a bad way.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And it makes horrendous noise. You'll know if your pump's gone on.
Yeah. So what you do it in the side, but below the normal water line?
Yeah.
Below.
Yeah.
And as soon as the water line goes down to that, it sucks in air and breaks the siphon.
Absolutely, yeah. That was going to be my contingency plan. If I had messed up my guesswork on that, I could always just do that because my return pipe comes over the top of the tank and in. I've got quite an easy access to just drill a little pilot hole. So that could be. It might be something I'd do anyway. Actually, now you maybe think about it again because I've not got much leeway. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Melinda's got a note. Elisa's got a trick for you.
Yeah, I just replied. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Give that a go. Now a bunch of flow for a second. Close works like a champ. Huh.
Yeah.
I suppose if you do that relatively frequently, once every couple of months or something, that will keep that flush through. Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Terry's comment earlier about breaking the siphon, I've noticed, and you can just about see it here. In fact, if I make me bigger. So here where I've got my random flow generators, they're on little articulated arms. And if I have them pointed, because I used to have them pointed quite down, and the amount of water it would siphon before it broke that siphon was vastly. I mean, I've lifted it up now to create more of this surface agitation, but I think having that, lifting it up has obviously dramatically reduced the amount of water that drains out into the sump as well.
Yeah, that's all we need to do. You can tweak it like that.
Well, that's an interesting point. D&D tanks have a pilot hole that breaks the siphon.
All right. I didn't even know that.
I did not. Maybe Harry can confirm. Not that we don't believe you, Anthony. Just, that sounded bad, didn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Is there anything... Go on.
I'd say it's exciting times when you're thinking about all this design stuff. So that is, the thing is, don't rush. Measure twice, cut once, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so I was initially thinking about, because I wasn't too sure about clear silicon or black silicon. I'm pretty sure my mind has made up one way or the other now. But I did then think, do I wait until Aqua and just look at all the tanks there and then see if that reinforces my thoughts or makes me change my mind?
It's not long to wait, is it?
No.
Considering how long you've been debating this, I think,
Yes.
Yeah, which way are you swinging? Which way are you swinging now?
I'm thinking black silicon.
Yeah.
That's what I would say,
Yeah. I think the clear has that, it's like a sex appeal. And then you go naturally.
Clear silicon looks fantastic on showroom tanks that are dry and brand new.
Yeah.
But once it's got a layer of algae on it, they're impossible to clean, and it shows up. You get a messy scene.
Then it's like dirty brown silicon versus black. And then
unless you're going to run a sponge over it every week religiously to stop anything encrusting, which you'll soon get bored of doing, I'll go black all the way.
Yeah, so I'd heard this as well. I don't know how true this is, but I have definitely heard it before.
Anecdotally, I have noticed that if I've left, as I have in the past, left tanks in the garage, say, for a year or two, just while I'm pissing about, the clear silicon dries out and cracks a lot quicker than the black stuff. The black stuff seems to stay soft and like malleable a lot longer. I don't know if that makes it stronger, but it makes it last longer. In my eyes, that's a good thing, right? It doesn't dry out and crack like this clear stuff does.
I wonder if that's like just a quality thing, because on all the like tanks you see in Pets at Home that are 12 litres or whatever, they're all clear, aren't they? So perhaps a lot of clear silicon is produced really cheaply, whereas any tank you're going to spend money on might.
Yeah, but also on those little tanks, there's the water pressure inside is minimal, isn't it? It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
That's interesting. If other people have actually got that and backed it up with stuff, that is interesting.
That's the first I've heard of that. I've never heard it.
Oh, really? No, I've definitely heard it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And interestingly, we're all saying black. Belinda's saying, I'm going to go clear next time.
Oh, right. Different strokes, different folks.
Hang on, are you talking about back glass or are you talking about silicon?
When you asked earlier if I'd do anything different with a new tank, that was going to be one of my points.
Ooh. That
I think a Peninsula, for the sake of having a clear rear panel, I think I'm into that a little bit. I think if I were to do it again, depending on the wall behind the tank or if it's a room divider, I think a clear, to be able to see through the tank, is a really nice and makes scapes and corals pop.
Do you have to put really naff wallpaper up behind it?
As they do look amazing, but the maintenance on it, you've got to be on it, haven't you? You've got to be.
Sure. Yeah, it's another panel. I mean, if you look at my side panel right now, that's a testament to how good I am at cleaning glass.
Did you see the was it on Instagram, Henry? I'll see if I can get the video.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the
so
little...
Lee sent this to me and I immediately forwarded it to Steve and Matt.
Yeah, and I immediately said, I want one.
Yeah. There was one a while ago that never took off because it was too bulky and not great. And this one has the extra feature as well, which I think is very cool.
Yes, so I'm going to scroll back through all of the different memes and comments. And
yeah, I'll be here a while.
See if I can find that link.
Because I was thinking, would that be annoying to have there all the time though? And I thought, but if you're someone like me that takes a week to actually get round to cleaning the glass at times because you just get busy, the amount of probably 50% of the time I look at my tank, the glass is dirtier than I want it to be.
Yeah.
So I think to have a small black thing in the corner is much less of an eyesore.
I'm intrigued now. Come on.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
I'm trying to build the suspense here. Come on,
Where did you send it, Harry? Where did you send it? On the Reefing Circle, or did you send it straight to me?
No, I think it was to the group chat. But if I look at Lee's, oh goodness me, Lee, I've got to look through all of your memes now. But one of them isn't a meme.
It was a little.
Here we go. I've got it. Let me send you. Share.
Send it to me, and then I can click on it.
Is WhatsApp easier for you?
Either way, it will work fine.
There he is.
But yeah, it's one of those things where you see it and you're like, just take my money.
Yeah. That's probably not the best video of it. It's just the first one I saw.
Yes. And I probably can't make it any bigger either.
And yes, it does only do the front panel, but yeah, it's all right.
Ah, right. It's just like the robotic vacuum cleaner type thing.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a better version, and it has a camera in it, so you can live view the tank, even move it about and look at your tank while you're away from it.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
And it's just, I think it's just small enough and just sleek enough to make sense on like a 4 or 5 foot tank.
So is it just a pad, or has it got blades on it? Because if I left that on its own with blades on it, I'd be a bit nervous.
Not sure.
You know what I mean? If it goes right up to the corners and except.
Yes, that's a good point.
If you go on their account, there's quite a few different videos on the different features. I think this is a new one, Emma.
You see the inside on that one, look.
Yeah, so it looks like it's just because if it's doing it once a day,
It's
you don't need any sort of blade. I want it.
Yeah.
Again, there's that argument, isn't there, that it takes you away from your reef and it's one less thing that you're hands-on and tactile with. But for me, cleaning glass is just, it can be enjoyable, but I think when you're busy with life, I think to automate something like that, for me, would be quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That does look very cool.
There's no end to the gadgets you can get for a bloody reef tank, is there?
Yeah. We like a gadget, don't we, Steve?
Yeah.
Me and Steve.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I think when I sent it to the group chat, what were Matt's words? Don't know if they're repeatable on here, but
Yeah, I don't think
Matt
they are.
agreed that we love a gadget. But I don't know, is it like sensing the bottom and not going close enough to kick up any sand? Obviously, a fish could go past and kick some up into it. But yeah, there's it being moved manually to live view the tank.
Yeah. That was that was very cool. Copy link address and post a comment.
Send me one, please.
There you go.
I thought you meant comment on
chat. No. People were asking for a link to it. So.
Oh, brilliant.
That's an amazing little gadget.
They're not cheap, but they're not extortionate in reef world. Considering they're a camera, a robot, they're I think they're fairly priced, somewhat. but I couldn't afford one.
No, I was going to say, if I had a spare 400 quid,
Yeah.
I'd be buying something probably a bit more alive.
It's not a necessity, is it?
Oh no,
Mind you, nor is a new fish.
no,
or any of this really. Should we all just pack it up?
Don't even know what we're doing here.
Yeah, probably have a nice looking bank balance. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby snails.
Yeah, I mean there is a few things that it's not going to handle very
You could
well.
pick it apart. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, do you check for baby snails before you go ploughing through with a blade scraper, or do you just plough through?
Yeah, I can just imagine my rash just following it around constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, mine. So as soon as I get my glass scraper, my Naoko wrasse and the purple tang come
my
over,
tangs are all
and
over
they
it.
follow it constantly.
Yep. They get a bit too close as well, don't they? On occasion.
Yes,
you
and I'm like,
you're gonna get
that's
hurt.
a blade.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's a £400 auto feeder for your ass, essentially.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I mean that's cheaper than some auto feeders,
yeah. Well, there is that.
and
So
it cleans your glass.
Talking of stupid fish that get a bit too close to a blade, I've got a gold flake angel, so probably my most expensive bloody fish that's got a super glue addiction. As soon as I put a fresh frag in there with a bit of tacky super glue, he's straight on it.
Dear.
I'm like, stop doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, they can.
I've had it before where, sometimes when you got not the greatest super glue and you put it in and it takes this skin off of the super glue and it floats away. And the fish are like, that looks delicious. And zoom after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can't be good for them.
Or even like
what super glue do you use?
Nothing special.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
Although I got sent some super glue.
Well, someone did tell me that the black super glue is stronger than the clear super glue.
Oh.
I don't know. There you go. All right.
Yeah.
This stuff is phenomenal. I've tried so many types of super glue to find one that doesn't just like run off, or it sticks and then a week later it's fallen off. This stuff is brilliant. It really, unbelievably brilliant. There's very few things. I was talking to Ron about this the other day. Actually, this is one of the things, Ron, that I didn't mention. The Stratton got that. It exceeded my expectations. Not many things do that. I got a bamboo 3D printer that exceeded my expectations. This is number 3 on my list of things that exceed my expectations.
That's got to be a good glue at that point.
What sets it apart then?
There's lots of little things like I don't have to keep cutting the nib because it's got
you said about
up.
the lid. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So when you let go, it goes and actually sucks it back into the bottle. You give it a good shake to make sure you don't get a bit of juice off the top. That's where it's separated, and then shake it upside down a couple of times to get it down, and then you just kind of squirt a dollop on, and it stays properly domed as well, so it doesn't start to immediately level out. And then you put it in the water, no skin comes off of it and floats away. You put it on the rock, you kind of give it a little squiggle from side to side and hold it there for 3 or 4 seconds, and you're done. I used to have to turn my MP40s off. The return pump flow was okay, but the MP40s or Neros had to be switched off for an hour. Otherwise, it would just blow the frag off. This stuff, it's fine. And someone was asking, it's the Marine Direct stuff that Exodus bring in, and it is $15.99 a bottle.
And you said
bottle.
They only gave you, what was it? It was only 600 to endorse it this stream as well. so it must be,
Nothing. It's that good. Right, I would endorse it without anything at all.
To be fair, the Gorilla Glue that you can get anywhere is about £7 or £8 for a bottle. So
yeah. So to have something specifically, and I think you get more in there, do you?
Yeah. Black's a random colour, right? Would purple coralline colour not be a good shout?
It would be much better idea. Yes, I don't know why they didn't do purple, but black blends in a lot better than white.
Yeah, I imagine it would. Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah. Interesting.
Is it 50 grams? So it's 50 grams in there.
That's 50. I get 15 grams of that.
Oh,
for
wow.
about £7.
So this is cheaper.
Really good value. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. And
Am I right in thinking
I'm sure you can
grams?
find someone that stocks it as well.
No, decent.
Grams is the same as milliliters, right? I think they equate. Is that right?
No, not with superglue. With water.
Only with water. Okay.
Depends on the
With
viscosity
water,
of the
it would be.
product.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Anything else any of you guys want to talk about?
Don't believe so. Not me.
No. I'm good. I could talk all day, but I'm good.
John, we established there's loads of space left in there for more coral. Even Elisa said so. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Jamie, live stream on Friday. Have you got any details on it? You can plug it.
There is, yeah. There's the Reefers Network is back on Friday, and it's going to be a really bad one because Dong's back on it. So it's a good. It should be good fun. Yeah, get Dong back. I think everyone's had a few weeks of being away at certain times and stuff. So yeah, it should be back on. It's
nice. He's a good lad.
Yeah, Dong's always good value for a laugh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what wacky product he's been chucking in his tank this week. No, it's good. It's good at the minute. There's a lot of different streams of contents and stuff out there. I guess it's leading up to a big show, isn't it? So everyone's about at the moment, and then looking, because I can't make Aqua myself, looking forward to what everyone's going to stream about it after and what it turns out to be like. So I get green envy and FOMO. But yeah.
Oh, Terry's off to Coldplay with HR next week.
He's in a Coldplay concert.
I mean, would you rather
listen he's part of the band?
Would you rather listen to us drone on in a monotone voice or Chris Martin? You know, the choice is yours. No, sounds good.
No, I'm really, really looking forward to Aqua.
Yes,
really good. I
can't believe.
Forward to see everyone.
It's basically a week away. This time next week, we'll be packing our bags ready to go to Aqua.
And I can bring my new toy.
Yes. Do you want to tell everyone what you did, Harry?
No, I don't. No, shame.
Shame, yes, very much so. Shame, bad Harry.
It's for work.
Brilliant. Right, thank you very much, gents.
See you later,
everyone.
Thanks for having me.
See you next week.
Cheers.
See you soon. Yeah.
Bye.